Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Slikmof, back again with another video, and I've got another Batman v Superman topic video for you today. So, of course, every great film has a lot of plot twists, or one or two great plot twists, but I was thinking really about what Batman v Superman can do to really differentiate itself from the text, particularly The Dark Knight Returns, which it appears to be drawing from quite a bit. What I came to the conclusion of is that there really isn't a whole ton that they can do in terms of variety from previous iterations, such as The Dark Knight Returns. You have to think about it as well as that these characters are going to be broadcasted throughout the rest of this wave of DCcU films, so that all the way up into 2019 with Justice League 2 and beyond with the Batman standalone film, and presumably Superman might get another one as well, maybe a trilogy, who knows. But either way, Batman's definitely getting a standalone film. So today I thought I would lay out really the only logical way that I can see Batman v Superman ending, and also the big steps along the way, not just the very, very end, but also the major plot points that happen along the way. But if you think about it, because this film leads into the next wave of the DCCU, no characters can really die. The only characters that I could deem to be somewhat unsafe, and I actually would predict that Alfred could potentially die in this film. I would not be surprised if Alfred died in this film, and the Batman standalone, that could feed into that as well. I would not be surprised at all. And in fact, I am predicting that Alfred will die. That's just my personal thought. And the reason I think that is that in no other Batman film would you kill a character like Alfred. He's incredibly safe in any other Batman film. But the reason they have to kill him is because they can't kill anyone else. Literally, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all the main characters of this film are safe. Not only are they safe, they're going to live and they're going to be perfectly fine going into the next film. They have to be. There's no other alternative, because they're all going to be in future films. Wonder Woman has a standalone. Batman has a standalone. They're all three of them are gonna be in Justice League. So they have to be safe for that. And Lex Luthor, I mean, I suppose they could kill him. They're not going to, though. So you have to have some shocking element to write. I mean, you have to have a death you don't expect. You have to have a plot twist. I mean, I suppose they don't have to kill anyone, but I'm predicting that Alfred dies. That's just me. So thinking about the fighting, I think there's going to be two main fights between Batman and Superman, kind of the same layout of a film like The Dark Knight Rises. You have the initial fight where maybe a winner is somewhat declared or whatever, and then the second one has a different outcome, and I think that the first one is different because we saw in the reveal trailer, you know, the one where Batman's like, do you bleed? If not, you will, blah, blah, blah. That actually looks like a different setting from the fight that occurs second in the actual trailer, and also you have the scene where the Batwing is flying in between over the bay, and of course, Metropolis and Gotham are sister cities in this film, so they're closer, like San Diego and like Los Angeles or something. They made the comparison at Comic-Con, so they're very close together, and the Batwing's like flying in between both of these cities, and that actually appears to be a different fight because it's not raining in that scene, and in the first scene it is raining. So my prediction is that they actually fight twice, and it's resolved that way. However, in the second film, and ultimately there will be no conclusive winner. There's no way that one person can win over another, and the reason is they have to make up at one point. Now, Lex Luthor, there's a lot of controversy over Lex Luthor because in the trailer he has hair, and then in many of the pictures, like promotional pictures for the film, he is bald, as he is in every comic book iteration and how the character traditionally is depicted. So there has to be a point where he goes from hair to no hair. And I think that point is kind of like, the best comparison I can think of is like Darth Vader putting on the mask or whatever. It's kind of like the transformation from good to evil, and he's not good at the beginning of the film by no means, but in the trailer he seems kind of like playful, and I don't know. I feel like when he goes bald, that's when Lex Luthor really comes out, and he actually turns into the villain of the film. Of course, every good film has an antagonist. This will be no different. Batman nor Superman are antagonists in this film. Lex Luthor is the antagonist. And I think what you're going to realize is that there's going to be a point in the film where, after maybe the second fight, where they resolve and they kind of not team up, and they may not be on the best terms, like they may not be best friends about it, but they may recognize that they need to team up and take down Lex Luthor. I don't know what Lex Luthor's plans are. I'm not going to predict that or try to guess that. That's out of my reach, what he's doing. I imagine it's some sort of kill a lot of people, get a lot of money scheme, you know, what we see from Lex Luthor often. Regardless, I think that Batman and Superman are going to team up and take him down. And as I said, this film's not going to end with like Batman killing Superman. Like, all right, it's over. You know, it's going to have a resolving action with Lex Luthor, and they're not going to include Lex Luthor in the film if he's just kind of off to the side, like, okay, Batman, here's Kryptonite, go fight him, and that's not going to be the main part of the film. There has to be some other sort of resolution that's reached, resolving Lex Luthor. He's not just going to be a side character that's feeding information to Batman or whatever. He's going to be the main antagonist in this film, mark my words. So keeping that in mind, Batman and Superman, they have to team up at some point, and they're going to take down Lex Luthor. There's going to become a point where Lex Luthor loses the hair, and that's like his transformation into becoming a super bad guy. And then at that point, Batman and Superman are going to take him down and ultimately win. And that's how the film's going to end. And I'm very steadfast in this belief, and some of the details that I mentioned previously about there being 2 fights and blah blah blah, that's all interchangeable. The ending where Batman and Superman team up and take down Lex Luthor, that is not interchangeable in my opinion. I think it's just a matter of fact. That's what's going to happen. The film is going to have a conclusion. It's not going to be open-ended because it has to lead into future films with Wonder Woman and that kind of thing. So, you don't have to worry about an Inception kind of screen goes to black kind of ending. It's going to be conclusive. There is no Batman v Superman 2. You're going to know how this film ends. Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, they're all going to be all in one piece, perfectly fine, on the same team, ready for Justice League in 2017. They're all going to be buddy-buddy, and trust me, it's going to happen. So guys, let me know what you thought about this video. Do you agree or disagree with me that this is how Batman v Superman is going to play out? I guess just to me, it's so inherently obvious how the film kind of plays out generally, because the premise of the film, not because it's boring, but just because Zack Snyder, the director, is so limited in what he can do with the film and what directions he can take the plot. If you think about it, this leads in perfectly to my video titled DCcU is saving the worst for last, or something along those lines is what I titled it, and I'll link it in the description below in case you haven't seen it. But in summary, what I said in the video is that DC should actually say Batman v Superman, the matchup of the century for 2019, and you have Justice League 1 and Justice League 2 at the beginning, and you develop the characters of Ben Affleck's Batman, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, and you also develop them in a standalone Batman and Wonder Woman films, and Superman already has a standalone film, so you don't have to worry about that. You develop the characters in the middle, in between Justice League and Batman v Superman, and Batman v Superman is the epic conclusion, so you can do whatever you want with the characters and you're not restricted into how the story plays out. But this is not the way they decided to do it, so we get what we get, and I'm sure it'll be great, but like I said, that's just a concern of mine. Let me know what you thought about this video. Do you agree or disagree with me on the plot of Batman v Superman and how it's going to end? If not, be sure to comment your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe for more and like the video if you enjoyed. My name is Slkmof, and I will see you later.